I'm sitting here with the editors of The Advocate, the student newspaper at Albuquerque Academy. I'd love to hear a little bit about how you became interested in journalism.
I never thought my life would sort of go down this direction until my mom asked me to come and join one club in 8th grade because I hadn't done anything in middle school. But I think as I got further along, I just fell more in love with it, and now I'm here.
I started in 7th grade, and again, it was my mom trying to get me to join at least one club. And I remember going to Miss Peterson's office in 7th grade, and there was about 10 of us, and we'd all go to her classroom and try to write stories. And I think I only wrote one story that entire year, but I just kind of stuck with it, and I've stuck with it ever since then. I've just really grown to love it.
So the club fair, right when we got back after COVID, I saw The Advocate, and I was a little bit shy, so I had one of my friends sign up with me, and I went, and in the intro meeting, I was like, oh, this is so cool.
How many kids participate on The Advocate? Staff writers, editors, people who do layout?
Yeah, 30 to 40-ish,
wow.
And keeping in mind that not all of those writers are necessarily super regular, right? We might have a writer who only does about 1 or 2 stories for us per semester, and we have other ones who do a story every week. So I think throughout the year, you'd probably see about 30 to 40 different people who are helping with The Advocate in one way or another.
So why don't you talk a little bit about how the editorial board works? How do you select stories? How do you publish your paper?
The editorial board, each year there's a new set of students. It's anywhere from 5 to 10, I'd say. And we look for the stories that really we're looking for what students want to write about, right? We're not necessarily, we're going to have stories that we want published, but at the same time, if people come to us with stories, that's always what we're most excited for. So we love to work with different students who are interested in producing some sort of idea of their own. At the same time, we're going to have lots of school and local things that we want to cover in addition to that. So each week when we meet, we kind of go over that. We go over what we're looking for each week, what sort of stories we think we need to get published, and just in general, kind of what we want the newspaper to look like, I guess.
I have to say, one of the things I love about The Advocate, besides the quality of the articles that are written, that it's a 612 newspaper, and that it consists of voices across the entire school. So I think you do just a wonderful job with that. Have there ever been conflicts on the editorial board as to what should be published, or how or why, or the language that can be used, or the actual editing process?
So one of the ways that we like to try to resolve conflict on the editorial board is, of course, we're being very careful with the wording of our articles, especially any articles that are advocating any sort of opinions that might be out there, or niche sort of opinions. And another thing that we like to do is try to get multiple viewpoints on an issue, and that we've done multiple times in the past, that we get what we call crossfire articles, that we have a pro one side of an argument and then also cons of one side of an argument. So our newspaper does not go through any sort of prior consent through your office, and I think that's a big deal for a lot of public schools. And us being a private school, there's that constitutional that we don't have that sort of same freedom of speech as a private school, as I might in a public school. But honestly, here it's been really wonderful that we don't really know the difference, honestly. So.
Yeah, we had gone to a journalism conference last year in San Francisco, and I remember talking to some of the kids, and I was surprised on all the limitations of what they could publish, and I think that it's just really benefited our school newspaper to not have to worry about that.
You are entitled to reasoned, researched opinions about the state of affairs in the world and at school. I love that The Advocate exists, and I think it is really essential to the mission of our school.